Hi, welcome to the 23rd General Online Consumer Research Conference. My name is Kumar, one of the founder of Entropic Tech. I also take care of the overall product engineering and insights organization here at Entropic. We are a 5.5-year-old startup based out of India with offices across the globe. We are an emotion AI company. We typically focus on being able to measure, analyze, understand human emotions across scale using a bunch of different technologies. The first one is facial coding or facial expression tracking. The second one is eye gaze tracking. The third one is voice tonality. And the fourth one is brainwave mapping, also called as EEG. We work with brands, agencies, advertisers across the globe to help them measure consumer research, consumer behavior data, or help them with the consumer research, truly understanding how consumers are actually reacting to their ads, to their products, to their packs, or when they look at their websites, when they look at the products in third-party e-commerce sites, etc. We work with about 150 plus customers across the globe. We have 17 plus patents filed globally. We are the second largest emotion data repository. And we have a little over 60,000 plus experiences tested using our Effect Lab SaaS platform, which is part of Entropic Tech. Why emotion matters, right? So 7 in 10 consumers who are highly emotionally engaged with the brand spend up to 2 times or more. And what we have also seen is consumers who have a high emotionally engaged experience with the brand have a high propensity for brand recall and purchase intent as well. So clearly, if a consumer is emotionally engaged with the brand, there's a larger pie that the brand is able to get from the same consumer. On the other flip of the side, 80% of the executives at CPG companies believe that they understand consumer emotions of their to their products, to their advertisements, to their creatives, whereas only 15% of the consumers agree that the executives actually do understand how they feel about a particular product or a particular ad or a particular experience, right? When we look at brand loyalty with respect to the drivers in terms of what actually has the highest correlation to loyalty, so there are 3 main aspects to it, right? One is your emotional index or emotional drivers. The second is your rational drivers, and third is your value drivers. Out of these 3, emotional drivers actually have a significantly high correlation to brand loyalty, which stands about 0.75 in comparison to your rational drivers or with your value drivers. Why subconscious emotion matters, right? So according to a study that's done by Professor Gerald Zartman, 95% of customer experience or purchase intent or purchase decision making today happens in your subconscious mind and is purely driven by emotions. While 95% of your decision making is already driven by emotions, only 82% of the brands rely on true consumer insights. 82% of the brands rely on true consumer insights, but those 82% only rely on stated responses and completely miss out on the emotional response, which basically covers your 95% of decision making. So today, brands are measuring 82% of something, which only contributes to 5% impact, whereas leaving out the emotional behavior or subconscious responses, which contributes to 95% of the impact. In terms of traditional qualitative and quantitative research, right? So brands have always been, market researchers have always been in the quest to understand consumer research at scale. However, the traditional way of doing understanding human emotions with quantitative studies have a bunch of issues, right? So some of them are with the traditional consumer research methodologies. The research is biased depending on who's asking the question, how the question is asked, or like how the question has been framed, what is the tone of the question. You could end up triggering a positive response or negative response. Most of the quantitative fails to answer the why. It lacks the actionability. It tells you whether it's a scale of 4 to 5, is it 5 or 1s, but it doesn't tell you what are the next steps that I'm supposed to do with it. It's extremely difficult to scale. You can do 5 interviews, 10 interviews in a day, but you cannot do 100 interviews in a day. It does not have benchmarks that allows us to quickly compare where you stand with respect to your competitors, where you stand with respect to product category as a whole, to determine whether the ad that you're working on, the pack that you're working on, or the shelf that you're working on, how good or bad in a larger scheme of things. So with that, we At Entropic Tech, we are introducing Emotion AI. Emotion AI combines four key technologies. Facial coding, the first one is facial coding. Using computer vision and advanced machine learning, we are able to analyze your facial expressions in real time using a standard webcam in your laptop or in your mobile phone. We don't need any external hardware devices or cameras attached to your laptop or mobile phone. Standard camera is more than sufficient to capture your facial expressions, both macro emotions and also micro emotions. When I say macro emotions, these are your happy, sad, anger, and your micro emotions are your smirk on your face or frown on your face, etc. Right? The second piece of technology which constitutes Emotion AI is eye tracking. Again, using a standard webcam in your mobile phone or your laptops or desktops, we are able to analyze your gaze patterns that tells you exactly what on the screen you're looking at, where you're looking at it, for how long you're looking at it, right? A combination of facial coding and eye tracking not only tells you what your emotions are, but what in the screen actually triggered those emotions. The third piece of technology, which is part of the Emotion AI stack at Entropic, is Voice AI. Based on the tonality of your voice, based on the frequency, based on the pitch, we can tell you whether you're having a positive experience or negative experience. If it is positive experience, what are the emotions you actually are exhibiting when you're actually expressing something, right? This could be in a qualitative research kind of a method where you are one-on-one interviews, or in one-to-many interviews, or in a more automated qualitative sense as well. The fourth piece of technology that is part of our Emotion AI stack is brainwave mapping. We have a completely portable, non-intrusive brainwave or EEG headset that allows us to capture brainwave data in real time and have your headset paired with your laptop or the mobile phone and have your brainwave data captured real time, then transpose the data into attention, engagement, what your activation levels are, what your balance is, what kind of emotions you're exhibiting. So Entropic Tech's Affect Lab is the only platform that is able to combine facial coding, eye tracking, voice AI in a single exposure so that you are able to understand the what, the why, and where all in one single exposure, depending on whether it's an ad, it could be a website, it could be a pack, it could be a shelf, it could be a third-party e-commerce site as well. So at Entropic Tech, when we started building out Affect Lab, we focused on 3 A's of Emotion AI. And we believe that the 3 A's are going to be the primary enablers in terms of pushing this technology to the next level. The first one is accuracy. Being able to measure human emotions is one, being able to measure human emotions accurately is another thing. At Entropic Tech, using our algorithms, we are able to measure real human emotions with voice, with face, or even eye gaze tracking at about 95 to 96%. Agility. With computer vision based facial coding eye tracking, we are able to combine that with the survey components inbuilt into a SaaS based product called Affect Lab, which allows us to capture real human data at scale. So you have a panel of about 60 million plus people across 120 plus countries natively integrated in the platform. So you can actually do your research completely without moving out of your system by launching a study in US or by launching a study in Australia or in Thailand right from your laptop itself and hire people all within your laptop without even having to step outside of your door. The third is actionability. With Affect Lab, we have self-service dashboards and custom reports that allows us to give you exact, specific, actionable outcomes in terms of be it advertisements, be it packs, be it shelves, in terms of what is working, what is not working. And we'll also tell you why something is working and why something is not working as well. And we have the second largest benchmark data repository that can tell you clearly whether your particular new ad that you're working on or a new pack that you're working on or a new shelf layout that is working on, is it going to help you cut the clutter, increase your overall revenue, increase your sales by comparing against the overall category, subcategory as a whole. So what you see in the screen today, right now, is the overall Entropic Tech Affect Lab Emotion AI platform. On one hand, we have the branch agencies. On the other hand, we have a consumer panel of about 60 plus million people across 120 plus countries. And we have brainwave mapping, facial coding, eye gaze tracking, voice AI, with flexible survey module, benchmarks, and all real-time data capture, all combined into one single platform. We have 3 products that we offer in the market today. The first one is Affect Lab, which is very, very focused towards media and shopper experiences. The second is Affect UX, very focused towards digital experiences. The third is Affect UI, which has your APIs and SDKs available for third-party integrations. With that, I would like to open it up for any questions that any of you might have. Thank you so much for this opportunity for us to come present here at this 23rd conference. Thank you.